Alright, well, if that first part of the video finds anybody, then I guess you just needed to hear me spit out those words really jumbledly. Sorry about all that. Technical problems. Don't know exactly what I did. This is what we tried to do. So I will be right back now. If anybody was booted and didn't come back, sorry. But if you did come back, thanks. If you're only tuning into this half, I had a cool intro that wasn't very well done, but very informative. So go check that out too. It'll be posted within the whole playlist on the channel as well. And if you're still with me, especially after all of that, and you like what you hear and you're interested in seeing this reading, or it resonates with you in any way, anything I've said with you resonates, please give me a like and subscribe. Just know not every episode will be this jumbled. This is just me on a Monday. Okay, Monday episodes will probably be this jumbled. I also don't have a set schedule for filming. I'm just kind of going with whatever feels good. longer on the break than intended, but I needed to get some munchie. Oh, where did I put my munchie? Hang on a second. I'll be right back. Oh, no, right here. Hey, we're back. Let's do an open reading. Just an open reading to the collective off the energy that I've already put out there in my latest post. And with what we were been talking about at the beginning, a little excited and jumbled, of course, but open reading, open reading, open reading. I forgot I need to get something real quick. Again, this is a very raw thing, so you are going to see me referring to some books and stuff a little bit. I can guarantee you I will not do this in a private session, including a free session, because it's just inauthentic. Not that I'm saying that this isn't, but I'm practicing. And for those of you out there who are using the stack, getting into the stack, maybe having some difficulties understanding or utilizing it the way that Crowley intends, definitely, I don't know where my camera's at, definitely buy this as well. Very good guide. Ultimate Guide to the Thoth Tarot, Johannes Feiberg and Evelyn Berger. If you want something that unifies all of the concepts that I'm developing, all the concepts that I'm understanding, and I'm pretty sure anybody else who's ever read this could understand too. This one applies to me. You don't have to read this book if it doesn't apply to you, but this is where I'm beginning my journey through the various two trees of life. Very good book. You don't have to be queer. You don't have to be gay to get this. I highly recommend straight people, if you're into this, read this as well. They put a really good perspective, a very good modern perspective on a lot of antiquated takes, especially within magic and occult. And a really cool way to perceive the idea between divine masculine and divine feminine. I still use those terms, but I do like what they use in here too. They question a lot of things that have always been. There's a lot of old school style homophobia in the occult and magic world, actually, which is really weird. You would think it'd be the opposite. You can't be a true virile man unless you get a woman pregnant. That's not. You're misinterpreting the terms. Beside the point. We could do a whole podcast on how I feel about that. So, open reading to the collective. Specifically looking for people to. I want this video to go into feeds for people who need to see it. All right. We're going to start off by doing a couple of oracles. This is the Brain Skull Oracle. It's the intent behind this deck specifically is to communicate with your higher self. Let's leave myself out of it because this one isn't for me. I get that one a lot. It's really good for an open reading though. This is number 41. It says, just throw time at it until it's a thing. How do you know it's real if you don't keep, if you just repeat it and repeat it and repeat it? And you know, you need time for something to become a thing. There's opposite ways you could take that, but we're doing just a 4-card oracle to start. So we'll see how this ties together. Ooh, big tower energy off that one. This is this one really fits what we're trying to achieve here with this reading. So if this is something that's resonating with you, then you might be a person who's struggling with finding your vibration, which is exactly what I'm reaching out to. So, and this one says, I'll show you the card here, forever and wherever you will go. And you have both your light and your shadow self talking and saying the same thing at the same time. Choice is always yours to vibrate higher, though. You can choose to exist in either of those frequencies. That's good. And then don't be afraid to shake things up. I'm not saying make any big drastic decisions, but I'm saying this is saying um, we hold on to the familiar because we're afraid of change, and that's a defense mechanism built within your subconscious. So this says, yes, hi. I'd like for everything to stay the same, while his world is literally dissolving below him. And those are the feelings you want when you're struggling through those dark times. And we've been there. I can really tell you I've been there. This is what's helping me get out of it. I understand that it all happens for a reason. And here we go, final one for our opening Oracle 4 spread here. I don't have a name for this. We're just going off of how I'm just going off what Spirit's telling me to do here. You never get there, and you never stay here. Keep moving. Oh, keep moving. One of the laws of the universe is keep moving. And to quote another song, because I'm going to do that a lot, quote Rory, you know, you better start going in some type of direction. Because the people going nowhere are the ones that are flexing. And I was never a preacher. I don't claim to be a reverend. But I can take your ass to church and show you glimpses of heaven. Awesome. Please don't sue me for that, Rory. This is a non-monetized channel right now. Please don't sue me. I really liked that though. That was cool. It's a really profound song. I mean, you can take it for face value for what he's saying, but when you really listen to it, one thing I'm noticing when I get into this, like people who in the arts, people who perform, people who create, they get this. Even if they haven't studied what I'm studying, like they get it on a fundamental level. I guess that's why they're artists. All right, that's a good starting point. So we're going to use the continual spread that I like to use for open readings with this deck. That may change and develop as we evolve. I may even stop using the Thoth deck for general open readings unless Spirit calls for it. But for now, this is the only tarot deck I have. I've got another one coming. Um, eh, expand my experience and stuff here. So we like to use the start. That's the one I use. And I am referring to the book because if you've listened to my first part of the podcast, I have been getting a lot of information into my brain over the last in a very short period of time. So, alright. So, the opening card is where you stand with the start, whatever this is, for how this resonates with you. Everything I interpret may not be how you interpret it. That's why I do like to show you the cards. If you are familiar with the deck, especially, I really want to hear your ideas. This is an open reading for whoever it resonates. This is October 6th, 2025, the first night of the Aries supermoon. First card we drew is the Hermit. Excellent card for what we're doing here. So if you notice, we have the Hermit himself and his white strands of hair, which is supposed to represent like his connection to the divine. We have the Cerberus here, protecting protecting entries to hell, and you also have the divine spark, the spark of divinity itself here in the middle, creating what I like to interpret as a star, multiple angles, kind of maybe a part of the tetragrammaton, maybe, or your connection to it. That's just what I'm seeing here with my intuition. Um, so many different ways you can read this card. I mean, if you've read the book, you know what I mean. So I'm going to look up a little imagery to see if there's anything I'm missing that's really important here, because of the serpent around the green stone is very, very strong for me. I'm getting as well. you stand alone and you, again, you're an outcast. I know what that's like, especially like maybe not like, as so much of a social pariah or outcast. Like I fit in a little bit here and there. Nothing, never everything, anything to like write a little kid's growing of age story about. But in my head, the way I saw the world, the way I still see the world, the way I'm learning the world is, um, most people can't accept it, or they don't want to accept things within themselves that make them have to face this reality. And this is something I've struggled with myself for far too long. And I know I'm probably reading this a little wrong, but I like to think the way the light's bouncing off there is the reflection of self, reflection of soul, and it's fractured because he doesn't see himself as whole as he knows he is. So you are struggling. I'm here to tell you. I'm here to offer that guiding light a little bit. I've been that. I've been that person. Maybe at times I still will, but I'll never I'll never wallow in that darkness like I did. And I feel like you are maybe there now, or there's a way out because you can see that spark of the divine. But Cerberus is here knocking at your heels. There's some big like Taurus energy here. These wheat grains here, sweeping the way it's sweeping on the painting. Yeah, you're going through some internal struggles. Um, and if that does resonate with you, then I hope you pay attention, and I hope you like and follow and subscribe. And if not, that's cool too. I'm not, you know, but if this first card is resonating with you so far, then stick with me because you'll see what we're trying to do here. I'm trying to give you some advice, but I definitely see somebody who's tortured. It's going through it. You're going through it. You can read the Hermit in a positive way too, but I'm not seeing that. And we're gonna do your next one here. Responsibilities are Six of Wands. Stay strong. You know where to point the arrow. Sagittarius here. I'm Sagittarius. I get it. So you know where to point that arrow. You know where the light is to point it. It's telling you where to point that. It's telling you how to unify all of your weaknesses into strength. So maybe this is somebody who needs to do a little shadow work. That's something I've been learning a lot lately too. Is shadow work is very important for understanding yourself. You can't turn your back on the fallen ones too. Christianity wants you to, but Christianity's wrong. We're gonna get that cleared out of the air right now. If you're watching my stuff, we ain't. I will have a lot of biblical references in my stuff, but I'm gonna sit here right now and tell you most indoctrined philosophies of religion are wrong. They're right too. They all almost got the right idea, but even Kabbalah itself misses on some things. So a little bit more into the symbolism behind this card because it's very simply painted. Um, so I'm getting a little mixed messages of what I'm supposed to be seeing here on this, and this is open energy, so um, just dabbling, trying to do more than that. But um, so let's see. We have a pretty big, profound opening to all of this. Like your current situation, I've been there. I know how you feel. But it says here, yeah, your responsibility is to use this Nine of Wands energy, big fire energy. Like don't be afraid to shout yourself out, put yourself out there. So whatever your situation is, if it's with a relationship or a job, whatever it is that's causing you to go through this struggle and questioning yourself, questioning whether or not this part of you is good or this part of you isn't. You need both to be able to be able to light that spark within you. You can't turn your back on the shadow. You can't let your shadow consume your light, and you need that. You need both of them to be able to shoot this right here, to be able to hit that target and get that to ding up. I don't know. I'm getting that scene like like an arcade game style in my head here with that. We haven't even looked at the imagery yet in the book. This is just me going. I am really starting to understand this, though. I hope so. If this makes any sense to you, please leave any kind of affirmation in the chat. I haven't gone as far as to create affirmations or however that works. Um, so I guess I would say if this is starting to hit a tune with you in any way, like I said, this is very amateuristic of me still, but we're working on it. Um, leave an affirmation. Say, I will accept my faults for what they are. I will not let them define me. I will accept my emotions and I will feel them because I am human. I will not let them define me. They will not take the driver's seat. Any kind of way you want to word that. That's too many words to put to an affirmation. Sorry. But leave that in the comment section. Anybody in the chat, put that in the chat if you're resonating with this. Because I'm still feeling this Nine of Swords energy really hard. I still think there's more I need to tell you. Nine of Wands. I don't know why I said Nine of Swords. Because I was looking at Nine of Swords in the book. That's not swords. Look at that. That's wands. What are we doing? Forgive my mistake. I'm stumbling here. So many spirits coming in at once right now. Where's my wands at? I should be familiar enough with this book. I should be able to flip straight to it. Ooh, I feel that. A little bit of cannabis and mugwort, my little pre-smoke that I do. Little mix I've created is cannabis. I prefer to use a sativa. Indica hits you a little heavy with this stuff. But a cannabis, sativa dominant hybrid. We're going to use that as your base and then mix that with mugwort, lavender, and blue lotus. Definitely use the mugwort because it takes the harshness out of the lavender. Excellent relaxing blend. Very good for meditation if you're someone like me who likes to do that kind of thing in an altered state. I'm not going to be one to sit here and tell you that you shouldn't do whatever you want to do that helps you connect. Whatever that is. I smoke a little weed. You want to do this on psychedelics? You want to do it straight sober? And a lot of people tell you can't do this inebriated. You can. You need to find your balance before you do though. Learn that the hard way. So maybe don't do it like I did. Maybe do. Chances are, if you're watching me, probably gonna do it the way I did. We ain't we break the mold. We ain't the normal. We're not the normal psychics here. We're not the status quo, and we wouldn't want to be. Again, that's the part of what this nine of wands is saying. You need to understand that you don't need to fit the mold. You don't need to be this preconceived notion of what you think you are. Just view yourself for what you are. I haven't even looked at the book yet. This is just somebody's got a guide coming or a spirit coming through really strong on this. It's not one of mine. I'm getting the initials TK. If that rings a bell to anybody. TK. I'm hearing the words cloudy or compliment for some reason. Cloudy compliment. This is new to me, but uh, that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing a male voice, kind of like a strong, soothing but loving male voice, like long gray hair, maybe. I don't know. There's some kind of energy coming through there. Learn how to channel your energy properly into the right flow. Exactly, because you have the way that they're exactly crossed too. Oh, I'm surprised I missed that. And then again, you're gonna find new stuff and miss stuff in every reading. See, and this is what I say. Like, look within yourself. I don't care how deep within the shadow you are. If you're in the gutter watching me on a phone right now with the fucking needle in your arm, yes, I will get that vulgar. those are the people I'm reaching to. You do have a spark within you. Your life does have purpose. No life is ever created without purpose. And you know, if you're resonating with me on some level, your soul understands. We got to move on to the next card because it's just gonna get too heavy if I keep going on that one. Difficulties and reservations of the sun. Big Cancer energy here. Um, Dominating over. I just had this card. I just did a big dive into this card earlier. We have a whole zodiac here on the edge. Twin angels. I don't know who those are supposed to be. I should know this. You're learning with me. Let's go ahead and delve further into the sun with the rainbow energy here. Beautiful painting. And I'm surprised we're not drawing anything indignified yet. I figured this would be a card for an indignified position. Bear with me, bear with me. Again, I will not do this on any kind of scheduled personal reading, free or not. You will not see me do this. And if you ever see somebody do this or have card explanations on their cards for a reading you paid for, I would immediately end the session and ask for my money back. Because they are just swindling you. Again, if this resonates with you, if you would like to go deeper, if you'd like to explore this with me or learn it yourself, even, I will also offer all of those kind of things. I mean, I'm nowhere near ready to start teaching, but might as well. Um, I will offer, like I said, free, personal readings, free up to half an hour. Your first hour will be half the price of a normal hour. So if you want to schedule a full hour, you'll get a half hour for free and a second half hour for 30. Full hour for 60 after that. Anything within the first 30 minutes, if you feel like I'm bullshitting, you don't like it, anything that doesn't sit right with you, money back guarantee, no questions asked. Just end the session and tell me you want your money back, you ain't feeling it, whatever. I ain't trying to fucking take nobody's pocket money. But at the same time, like, I can't be using my energy for free either. Well, I can, within reason. So it's telling you to let go of your ego and self consciousness. It's what's holding you back. So the way your ego and your self consciousness there. Definitely, I'm definitely getting big meaty. I knew those cherubs were fucking speaking to me. Yes, I'm going to be a little bit more vulgar with the way I do this too. I'm not going to be your peaceful little loving hippie and light and love. Yes, we're all about that. All about that. But I'm not here to relax you and make you feel good about yourself and just give you a pat on the back. At least that's not what I'm getting with this reading. I'm feeling some shadow work with this one. Again, just let yourself go. You have inhibitions that are holding you back, but you know that those inhibitions are like can free you and connect you on a much deeper conscious level. Yeah, a big Cancer energy is also making me feel that. Sorry, this is what I have to delve in a little bit deeper just to really get what it's trying to say. Ah, as somebody who identifies in the kink world, yes, we're gonna go that route as an ABDL. If that throws you off, maybe you need to understand that more. But I'm gonna not hide myself from you. This is also like, symbolize a lot. Some of the things going on here is a refusal to grow up, kind of like a Peter Pan syndrome, or what's the proper term we're looking for? Puritanus. I'm gonna call it Peter Pan syndrome. I like that. And break your expectations of past experiences. Yes, whatever's causing this, you need to use this to get through this, to get through this. What we've talked about, if that makes sense. Ooh, I've never read this spread this way. Spirit's got a strong message for whoever this is resonating with. Big time. The fact that I'm reading the collective consciousness moving in a counterclockwise circle here. Um, yeah, you need to break the status quo. You need to there's conventional norms that you're struggling with within yourself that you need to understand that you're not meant to follow those norms. You're meant to be like me. Look at the way I'm reading this tarot. I ain't doing this the way normal people do this. This is affirmation. This is affirmation for me that I'm doing this right. There's more going on here, but I think that's the biggest message that Spirit really wants to get across. I think it also wants to give you a little bit of a warning, like don't get overzealous on this road using the strength of the Nine of Wands. Use the strength of the Nine of Wands, but it needs to be deliberate. You need to know where you're pointing that fire or that arrow. And if you trust the strength of Sagittarius, you won't miss. Take it from a Sagittarius. Ooh, interesting. Ten of Cups. Strengths. Your cup runneth over. You are a very giving and emotional person. But you keep your emotions in check and you distribute it. I would say you distribute your love and your hate equally to those who deserve it. And again, your strengths can help you center all of this together. I see that you're like me. You're somebody who struggled for a long, long time with something in your shadow side, something about your past, or somebody else in your past, or past family experience, something you've done to yourself, something you continue to do to yourself because of that. I mean, I struggle with alcoholism a little bit. You know, I've done a lot of drugs and stuff. I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't. I'm 100% clean from anything like that. Especially like the alcohol. I mean, I'm drinking a beer right now. Oh, yeah, you're a very beautiful soul, whoever this is, and you don't realize it. You think that your soul is only this dark, horrible monster. I can relate to this so hard. You're not. And even if you are that dark, horrible monster, I still think you're beautiful, and I still think you have a spark of the divine because you do. You need to know that. Ooh, ooh, very, very. We're gonna be reaching out to this energy a lot more. This is one of the main goals of the channel. So if this stuff gets a little heavy, let me know. It's feeling pretty heavy for me. Like I want to reach out and hug whoever this is. I want you to just know that you have it within you because that's your strength. You wouldn't have the strength of the Nine of Cups if you weren't divine. You are. All of us are. I don't. Everybody is. Good, bad, evil. I mean, even Donald Trump is a part of the divine. As shitty as that is to come out of my mouth. Politics aside, not what we're trying to do here, but I just wanted. I like to use extreme examples. My extreme examples. For one reason, I like to challenge the status. Like I said, I like to challenge. I like to push the button. I like to push the limit of what we conceive is and what isn't, and what's good or bad. I guess I don't like using good or bad or evil and not because those are not. They don't mean what you think they do. If you're not into this, which chances are you're probably a little. Uh, you're probably not an amateur if you're watching. Put it that way. And if you are, let's hang out together. I got a lot I could help you with, and maybe you got a lot you could help me with too. Maybe there's something I'm not seeing. I'm always willing to learn more. So we'll finish this spread with your purpose as the fool. What? Wow. I know you're gonna say you're the fool if you're not familiar with tarot, you think that's bad. No, this is very good. This is coming full circle and taking the power within yourself that you know you have, and understanding and reconciling things that hold you back. Tiger biting the leg, but the spark of the divine in the Assad. And the Ten of Cups is your strength. Yes, yes, yes. If this is reaching you, then you are a soul like me. You don't know it. You haven't. Maybe you do. Maybe you're having an idea, but This is exactly the kind of person that I'm reaching to in this podcast. With your grapes of partition over here, and then you have the discs, the zodiacs. Um, so many good things coming your way, but only if you can reconcile within yourself what is causing the friction here in the hermit, within the hermit. What is causing you to be afraid to not look at the sun because that's bad. Don't look at the sun, but like be afraid to go towards it. You feel like you're behind you're behind the shade of the tree of life. I'll call it the dark tree of life. I'm still learning the terminology on that sign. You can walk that path and find this life. They're both parts of the greater whole. They're both parts of Yahweh, the Holy Tetragrammaton. I used to think that the Holy Tetragrammaton's opposite would be an unholy Tetragrammaton. That's not the case. The unholy Tetragrammaton is part of the Holy Tetragrammaton. The opposite of all of that is nothing, and that's also the beauty. It's tied all together with an oracle because I could really go a lot further into the Fool. It's going to get a little bit more explicit than what YouTube can handle. But no, you have a very very bright spark within you. You may be something like me. To give an example, I have a very detailed spiritual archetype, and we're going to just lay that out there now so you know what you're working with the next time you watch me. I work on both sides of the spectrum. So I'm a spiritual alchemist, but I'm also a spiritual rebel. That's why you saw me bring in some Tiamat energy and mess up my stream earlier. Yeah, no, I'm getting a very, very good reading out of all of this. Like, if you're if you're using this reading to do what I'm trying to do, if this is resonating with you, so many other things. Like, oh, I didn't even show the cards to you. I just got carried away with it. But look at this card. Everything I've been explaining about the rest of the spread. This is the positive outcome that you can have with this spread. Now, it does come with a warning as well. Don't get too overzealous. You don't want to let your sod rule the rest of you, or you'll throw yourself out of balance. But that is where your spark comes from. That's why it's one of the direct paths up the tree. Also, ego. I could be telling you to keep your ego a little bit in check. Don't get it too whirly. Don't get it too whirly girly, or you will be the fool. I know that this is a different symbol to what I'm reading it as, but I'm reading it as like one of the 12 pyramids of knowledge of Thoth. This is the book of Thoth, and Thoth is one of my masters. So rest assured, your guys got you. Your guides got you on this. They know that you're not the broken soul you think you are, and maybe you are the broken soul you think you are. But maybe that's what you needed. Maybe that's what you needed. You needed to fragment that part of yourself. You need to break it apart and reassemble it into something that better suits you. Reassemble it into something that can hold this Ten of Cups energy, and anything that runs over is just free energy that you're giving to the universe that you don't need in exchange. You don't expect it in exchange. That's what I'm saying. Um, I'm also saying that maybe I'm reading that it could be the other way. Like maybe you need to control what's overflowing from those Ten of Cups. Use that straight arrow, the strength of the Nine of Wands and the arrow from Sagittarius to control that and pinpoint exactly where you want to put it. But you need to understand that your shadow side is not something that you need to abandon. You need to forgive it, you need to understand it, and you need to move on. But you need to move on with that being a part of you, because otherwise you're split. You're a split being. You're not whole. We're gonna do 3-card oracle bonus. Great. See, that just ties into the theme I'm talking about too. So you need to trust your guides too. Let some of these more material worries just like work themselves out, because we're focusing on a much deeper issue here. I don't think we're gonna do a zodiac reading tonight. This one's been a little bit deep. You just gotta trust the universe has your back, because it does. When you put that trust into your guides, into your protective spirits, your animal spirits, um,
it just it takes a lot of stress off of you. It's something you especially when it comes to like material stuff like money, job, love. That is something that has to be on your mind because we exist in the here and now. So we do have to create that stability for ourselves. But that doesn't mean you always have to be in control. And it also means that you need to be in control of the things that you can control. So like your emotions, these cups running over, you can control that. You can pinpoint that. You can fill those cups where they don't spill. Okay, okay. The idea isn't fully formed yet. 43. Throw stuff at a wall, see what sticks. If nothing sticks, just hang out in the pile. I like that. Kind of what I'm doing here right now. I think I found something that stuck for me though. That's what I say. Like you have all these ideas like creativity. Don't be afraid to share it. If it fails, it fails. You at least you know that it failed, and you know that that wasn't it. That's one thing you can check off the list. No reason to get upset about it. Move on. Take that as a positive because it's yeah. And if nothing works, just hang out in the pile. At least you've created this beautiful pile of ideas, and those are all yours. Um, and that's what you bring to the table. And I think that's great. We'll figure it all out. Oh, great card to wrap that up with. Create right now, not just during the good times, because creation is very key. And this could be anything. It could be a project you're working on. It could be like what I'm doing right now. Am I expanding my horizons with my YouTube, my ghost hunting, my spirituality, and just everything. My ability to communicate with somebody, even though I sound like a fucking crazy hippie. And it's the number 12. That's also very cool. You have this colored wizard on a black and white world, but he's creating an opening of his own imagining, and it has color, crystals, and magic, and light, and things that don't exist within his world. But they both exist because he created it. And what is creation? What is creation but just um, what we are now? We're consciousness constantly creating. We have to constantly create because motion is one of the key laws of the universe. And you know, I forgot I lost my point here. If we don't create, then how can we ever say we were truly alive? Because your soul wants to expand itself. It wants other souls to experience what it is, what it brings to the table. Because all of us bring something to the table. All of us, every single one. And you're not here for no reason. It's just stop telling yourself that. I get that. I'm getting that pretty heavily. I've been there, and many times I've almost let it destroy me. Nobody is created without purpose. Nobody's life is meaningless. And I think that's a good spot to end on. That's a kind of a little downer the way I'm feeling, but like good message. Like the overall message is here is the things that you're questioning about yourself that you think makes you not matter. Those are the things that make you. Those are the things that the world needs to see from you. Those are the things that. Those are what make you. You're beautiful. Your flaws, your imperfections, but your love as well. Your light. Cool. I really feel like that was reaching exactly who I wanted it to. Whenever or wherever this finds you, please leave an affirmation of your choosing. I have not gone as far as to write my own yet. I haven't asked Spirit for that. So write an affirmation or however this resonated with you in any way. If it did, um, this is a messy start to this. This is not my final product, like I said. This is just I feel like if I'm gonna start, I gotta start. I gotta start doing it. I can't just be talking about it and not be about it. I gotta be about it. And this is how I'm gonna get started. And this is just the beginning. We're not gonna let this peter out. That was too strong of a reading right there. Ooh, I'm a little overwhelmed, guys, but the black candle definitely helps. Holy crap. I just stupidly burned the whole candle on one reading, so we'll have to probably won't be doing another open reading until I get another one, just because that definitely helped keep my energy levels even. That was really fun. Normally, I won't get this talky after a reading that heavy, but this is early on, and I'm just not ready to end the convo just yet. So I will go ahead and repost these. I'm not editing them. I'm not adding effects in. I'm not cutting out mistakes. I'm not doing any of that. This is very raw, and I intend it to be. Once we get a little bit more polished, we will probably change things up, change the name of the podcast to a different name, make it more official. But for now, thank you for coming along the ride down the rabbit hole. If any of that resonated with you, if any of that helped you, please let me know, because you can push this in the algorithm. You can like and subscribe. You can help me monetize. All that's fine and good. But at the end of the day, if I can just change somebody's perspective, help somebody find their life, that's the goal. And on that, I love you and thank you for watching.